seated footwork and standing footwork are similar in that you are doing a lot of the same movement patterns, but it changes how you feel the movement. So make sure that you have a chair or something nearby to help you for balance, and then stand up, and I want you to work on spreading your toes as much as possible. Now remember, if this is something that you are having difficulty with, you can use a ball or your fingers to rub the bottom of your feet to start creating that connection with the mind and the foot. That will help awaken those muscles, and then you can start doing the movements that we are doing. Also, you can practice them seated, and once you feel comfortable with that, then you can go into standing. So from here, what I like to do is I want to make sure that I'm pressing back through my heels, but then I also have my forefoot firmly on the floor as well. So if I think tripod stance, I have 2 points on my forefoot and my heel, but then I also want to press my big toe into the floor to activate up through my inner thighs and pelvic floor. So I'm going to hold here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to lift my foot up off the floor. So I'm lifting my forefoot up off the floor. I'm pressing through my heel to help lift that foot. Now what I see a lot of times is that people who are struggling to do this, they will move their upper body. So they'll go into this type of movement to help create that foot lifting up. I encourage you not to do that movement, because you are then moving up the line and we're not concentrating on where we're trying to strengthen. So we want to go down here. We want to use the lower leg to help strengthen this dorsiflexion, this flexion of the foot. We want to use the lower leg, not move it up into the upper leg. Because as we start our gait pattern, if you're always using your hip, then you're not going to be able to use the hip in the way that you need to when you walk. So just try to do slow taps. And remember, if this is an area you're struggling in and you do find that you're using your hip, I just want you to try to lift it as much as possible. Even if your toes just barely come up off the floor, hold it. Hold it there. Do an isometric hold. That's holding it in a position, and then let it relax. That's going to help work on strengthening that lower leg rather than cheating. So you are going to do some taps of the feet, back and forth on both sides. Make sure you're standing tall. It's always nice to do this in front of a mirror or something so that you're able to see yourself rather than always staring down at your feet, because when we stare down at our feet, what's happening? Our body changes position. So either imagine yourself doing this while you're standing here, or try to find a mirror where you can see what you are doing. And then from here you can go heel up. And I like to stay on one side for a few minutes or a few seconds. Trying to press up through the heel and then switch sides. Now when we do this, the other thing you want to think about doing is I'm going to press through my heel and I'm going to try to take my ankle straight up through the movement rather than trying to like push it over one direction. And I also like to press that big toe into the floor, pull that big toe back towards the heel. That's going to provide more of a base. It's going to help create the arch that you're going to need to lift up. It kind of helps secure that point so that when you're lifting, it helps you go through that full range of motion. And then the other side. So those are some of the standing exercises that you can do. If you found this to be difficult, remember you can go back to seated. And if you're interested, I also offer a footwork course that you can do. It's 30 days of footwork with a calendar and everything so that you can see the exercises laid out for you. I have many exercises that we do seated and standing, to help working on strengthening those feet. And you can find that down below in the comment area, the discussion area. And if you'd like to see more things like this, you can also make sure to like and subscribe.